Perfect Dark, I finally got the Xbox 360 version, and what a great port. So I did say that I bought the N64 version a long time ago, and I made it to Chapter 3 and on the second mission, but then I just stopped there because the N64 controller was just bothering me so much. Now in the Xbox 360 version, I'm at the 5th chapter of the game, and I think I'm around 8 hours into it. I'm also on the last mission of the 5th chapter, just in case you're wondering. So my first thought of the game, it's still the same how I felt about the game when I first played it. I really like it, it's fast paced, good artwork, and it's just a lot of fun really. I mean, it's essentially GoldenEye with a couple of adjustments. I definitely love some of the levels in this game and the weapons too. I really like the Super Dragon since it really reminds me of the pulse rifle from the Alien series. It's a shame that this game never came out on PC because I didn't really like playing console shooters for N64 back in the day, but it's nice that I can finally play it with a Xbox 360 controller on my hand. It's probably one of the games that I really do believe it deserves that, high recognition and respect, not because it's really original, but it's just a lot of fun to play. I really do think Perfect Dark also has some potential to be some of my favorite FPS games that I played. It's really comparable to the games that I grew up playing, and that's a good sign right there. If there's one thing that I do not like about Perfect Dark is that it's extremely cryptic, and I did not expect this game to be like this once I got to the 4th chapter. It's so frustrating to really understand the objectives in this game. I think this is like the most frustrating first-person shooter I've ever played because of the objectives and missions. They're just not designed properly well with the addition of lack of checkpoints or quick saves. And I'm starting to notice this a lot once you get to Chapter 4 and Chapter 5. Like, the missions are just so vague, and most of the time I feel like I need a strategy guide next to me because it's just so frustrating to really figure out what you do. It's not because the game is hard, it's just that it's so confusing. It's one of those games that really feel like the developers designed it for themselves. I mean, this level where it was a stealth mission and it took me an hour to finally figure out how to beat it properly, and this level shouldn't take that long once you really know what you're doing. I mean, I think I beaten it around like 4 to 5 minutes, and yes, it took me an hour to like really understand what I needed to do in this freaking map. It was really the third objective that just confused me. I mean, you were supposed to play it stealthy, but once you saw me get my third objective, I wasn't really playing that stealthy. So yeah, man, it was so like frustrating because how that wasn't even like stealthy at all. So I never thought I would actually do that, but I just had to keep on trying and trying and trying, messing around, and then I finally figured it out. And let me tell you, I did not feel satisfied at all. I mean, that was really unsuspecting, to be honest. Don't you guys hate games with cryptic design choices? I mean, I was never a fan of getting lost or trying to figure out my way after like, an hour or two messing around in the map. I'm okay with like 10 to 15 minutes of getting lost, but more than that, it does start to get annoying. I really don't like when developers do this. It's such a cheap way to make your game longer. I guarantee you that Halo is a very long game. Even if you know what to do, it can still take a while to finish, and there's not much areas that were that confusing. Then you look at Perfect Dark, where the maps are so small, it's so confusing, and it really does start to get annoying without having any checkpoints or quick saves. It's kind of sad because I played the original Medal of Honor for PlayStation, and it's similar in terms of design, but it's much more reasonable and less cryptic compared to this game. Don't get me wrong, I really like this game. I'm actually done with it. This is like an update right here. So yeah, I beat it on Special Agent, and I might go for the Perfect Agent achievement once I finish my Agent playthrough. So I guess you can tell that I can't stand games that just purposely make you look around the map for a long time, and then you have to figure it out after, a long time of trial and error. Tell me what you guys think about this design philosophy, because I personally think it needs to be completely eradicated.